Well, hello. Happy Advent, everyone. And this, as you can see quite clearly, is, well, I can't actually see it very clearly, but it's an Advent calendar to mark the season. You might be looking at this and you might be thinking, oh, great, what is he at now? I'll tell you. I've been in lockdown the last couple of weeks, and in that time, I've gotten the opportunity to do a lot of things. Principal among them being organise my CD shelves. I promise this is relevant. Please don't leave. I organised my CD shelves because I had nothing but time on my hands, and in doing so, I took a kind of an inventory. And while doing so, I had a bit of an idea, so to speak, which is to combine my two great passions in terms of things that I spend money on, which is, of course, albums and dice. But you look at this and you say, hey, this isn't dice, this is quite clearly an advent calendar. That's where the trick comes in, you see. It is the 1st of December, and this advent calendar does not contain chocolates. It does not contain little pictures of the nativity scene or any of that boring shit. This contains dice. It's an advent calendar containing dice by a company. Dakota Irish is the name of them. They make dice. Support local, buy Irish, etc., etc., etc. And this year, for the first time I think ever, they did a dice advent calendar. It's an advent calendar full of dice. And so I was thinking, what if I were to open this crazy advent calendar every day? I don't know if I'll record it every day, but I'm going to try at least. Take out the little dice that's inside, look at it, enjoy it, roll it, and then take the number that's rolled on the dice that came out and use that to determine which CD I take off the shelf, talk about for a minute or two. It's not really like a review or anything like that, more just I suppose, a retrospective and a way of me keeping track of what I've got in my collection. So, without further ado, let's find wherever the fuck number one is on this gloriously tacky cover to the advent calendar. They had very nice ones, but I opted for the one that looked like shite. Do you see a one there? Let's see. They don't have them in order, so I'll have to just pick it up and bring it up to my eyes. Okay, there it is. There's number one. There is number one, and that's where we're going to start. I haven't opened an advent calendar in fucking donkey's yonk, so I'll probably do this wrong. Oh, there we go. Little door is open. That's number one. Better be. Or the whole concept is ruined. Ooh. Come here to me. There we go. There we go. Okay, so it's like a nice sort of a two-tone, little bit of orange in there, a little bit of black. I like it. I like it a lot. And it's a D6. Now, the significance of it being a D6 is, as I sort of alluded to, for every kind of dice, I'm going to be drawing from a different list, and I can't remember what a D6 is. Let me grab the list. I'm back. I got the list, and a D6 is best of collections. I have a number of collections. They're generally CDs from artists that I really like, that I have a lot of, if not all of their albums, and whatever this D6 rolls is going to be the best of one of those collections. So without further ado, that's a number 5. Starting strong. Best number in the pack. Might not be. Okay, so 5 relates to 68 on the list, and 68 on the list is Ooh. Oh, we're starting very strong. Okay, let me get my materials. Okay, so you'd swear it was planned. I didn't rig this. I obviously have no way of proving that, except to show you the list. But I mean, that would just defeat the whole purpose of it being random. But at some point, I'm sure once we're a little bit into it, I will actually show off the list, and hopefully it'll make sense. This is not an album. This is well, it's kind of a framed art print that I got very recently because I have quite a bit of fondness for this album. But then again, so does everybody. It's Dark Side of the Moon. It's a very, very good album. I once knew a person who described this as being a bunch of noise. Um, which it is. I mean, and books are just a bunch of fucking ink on dead trees. If you really want to be that way about it, this, however, is the good noise. It's great noise. It's a little little avant garde, I suppose you might say. It's a little bit different, but it's classic. I mean, this is widely regarded as one of the top t-shirt designs available in those kinds of shops, and that's for good reason because it's a nice design. But in terms of the album itself, it's one of those ones that genuinely warrants a listen straight through. Like you can't just, by all means, you can jump in if you want to, but the division here between your A side and your B side, your first five and your last five tracks, they kind of just play like two continuous, beautiful collections rather than being individual songs you can hop into. Now, listen, obviously, if you want to just play Money, I'm not going to stop you from just playing Money. Sometimes we all have to celebrate being paid, but the album itself benefits greatly from just listening straight through and hearing all of that quote unquote just noise. I'm only gesticulating with one hand because my other hand is holding the camera. It's a well thought out gimmick, this. A well thought out gimmick. Gimmicky is not words I would use to describe Dark Side of the Moon, primarily because gimmicky is one word, not several. And also because it's a good fucking album. I can't really say anything about it other than it's a good album. And I feel like fundamentally that's going to be a lot of this, unless I get some really shit ones, and then I can go on for quite some time. Conceptually, though, if you like your rock, if you like fucking coming home at the end of a hard day and sticking on something that sort of encapsulates, I suppose, the monotony to which we face in a standard given week, while also being a good fucking rockin' piece of music. This is a good one. Many's a day I've just popped it on, phased out, and just kicked back, so to speak. Also, I believe it's on Idris Elba's Desert Island Discs, if a radio ad is to be believed. So, if you don't trust me, trust Idris Elba. And that's day one.